I don't think we've had anybody on the podcast necessarily that's lost a parent that young. I can only imagine from the outside looking in how fucking hard that would be.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Losing a parent when you're 25 years old is a completely different losing a parent when you're 11. It's not even comparable. Obviously, losing a parent at 25, 35 is horrible and sucks and very, very sad. But at 11, it just feels like your whole world is crumbling around you. It's that's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very, it's a lot to go through, for sure. And I was 11, but my father still had a massive impact on me. He was working all the time, but we had like really good like moments and times together, and he instilled certain mindset. And when he passed away, I was 11, and I just remember thinking like, my father was the one that was supposed to show me the ropes and teach me all this real estate stuff. And, so I kind of have to figure this out on my own now. And I started reading a couple little, business books and stuff like that when I was very, very young. But I kind of realized, and my thought was that like, had my father been here, I would have really wanted to learn from him and
of course,
and work for him. And I'm like, he's not here. I'm not going to be the genius at real estate. That's not my highest value. My highest value is fitness. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to, what he did in real estate, I'm going to go and do that in fitness.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my
that was your fire.
This is my fire. And again, like, it took a long time to get to this place, but like, I think that, it's easy to say, like, it should have been this, it should have been that, it should have been whatever. I don't like that. That's like negative talk. What I kind of, what brought me a lot of peace was kind of like, what? I feel appreciative to have the father that I had, to be able to spend those 11 years with him, for him to have the impact on me. And I feel like the value of that, and I remember I did a,
it's tough to look at it that way, man, but
it's tough to look at it that way. But I remember we did some like celebration for him some years ago, and a lot of his good friends were there, and I was like, I'll do a speech.
Yeah.
And I was like, at the very end, I'm like, you know what? I would rather have my father for 11 years than any of you fuckers for a lifetime.
You know what, man? That's,
and that,
yeah, that's honestly, that's super. Wow, like that's like, you got to be a strong person to be able to do that, because losing a parent, I think at that age, like you can go either way. You can go fucking way downhill, and start like we spoke about, like just blaming things on the world and blaming things on life. And so the fact that you didn't go down that route, kudos to you, bro.
And I mean,
I also feel a deep sense of honor and responsibility to do him proud, right? So
keep the legacy going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude, like at such a young age, it's crazy. But again, like the fact that you've kind of like sat here almost this whole podcast and accredited a lot of the reasons for your success to him, and there was only 11 years together, like that just speaks to the man that he was, you know? And so, probably better you had him for 11 than the rest of those guys.
I was going to say, there's probably guys out there that don't get anything from their fathers at all in 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
So it's a maybe it was a blessing. I don't know, but you took it the right way. That's for sure, man.
Yeah. And it's very interesting because, he worked all the time, right? He was completely and absolutely dedicated to his business. And so it wasn't like he was hanging around me every day playing, throwing the baseball. Like we had very clear moments together, Saturdays, Sundays, some vacations and stuff like that. But it wasn't like we were spending all this time together. And I actually think that can be more powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're with it, like we say this a lot too, right? Because we moved out of our parents' house and stuff like that. We're like, I feel like I appreciate my relationship with my parents more that I'm not with them 24/7.
100%. Yeah.
You get bored, you get annoyed with them, you're looking for things to nitpick.
But I think with a father and a son, that dynamic, when you like him going out and working and building this empire every day, and you seeing that. Is actually where the value lies. Then when you have those one-on-one moments, you're remembering them even more. But you're looking and saying, dude, this guy was doing everything he could to build a legacy for me and his family, right? So there's so much value in that where it's like people, I think there's like this like misconception with families nowadays, and it's like you need to spend 24 hours a day with your child and that's the best way that they're gonna learn. It's like, nah, bro, if you're trying to build a fucking, you're trying to make your son an alpha, you got to show him how you got to move as a man.
Yeah, through example,
Exactly.
not by just
not just talking.
Yeah, exactly. Through action, yeah.
Yep, yeah, and I mean, and that goes for everything. But I agree with that 100%. And then when you do have those moments, the one-on-one moments where you're having those deep talks and whatever, you like the words that come out of his mouth are like they hit you 100 times
stick with you.
harder.
And speaking of like the whole masculinity thing, like I actually love the idea of me being the provider, me working all the time, and being able to have a partner, etc., that doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
That stays at home, that raises the family, that takes care of that. I actually like that style way more.
Yes.
When I see two parents and they're both working all the time, they both have kids, they're fucking miserable.
Yeah,